go!
Yayo, yayo, dreaming. Don't give it up, Lupe. Dreaming. Don't give it up, Solo. Dreaming. Don't give it up, Nave. Dreaming. Don't give it up, give it up, give it up, give it up.
Hey guys, welcome back to Phil Plays TCG. Today I want to do a deck profile for the leader that I'm going to be playing for the next couple weekends at our One Piece locals here, and that is OP11 Green Jinbe. I'm having a lot of fun playing this leader, and honestly, I really got into, I really started liking Jinbe as a character really recently, because I'm actually watching the One Piece anime and got to Fishman Island, and I'm like, okay, Jinbe's pretty cool. I do apologize that the camera's a little bit in reverse. This is a brand new setup, and I'm still trying to work out the kinks here, but basically, we just want to look at pictures here. So, Jinbe is a 5k leader, 5k, 5 life leader, I should say. His ability is at the end of your turn, if you have 6 or less cards in your hand, set up to one of your Fishman or Merfolk type characters, and up to one of your Dawn as active. Basically, it allows you to protect one of your characters by restanding them, as well as set up one of your Dawn as active in order to be defensive that turn, because there's a lot of really good defensive cards in this deck. And yeah, that is basically the leader here. Just gonna try to put him right in the middle. We're gonna go over the deck here, and yeah, if you do want to see more One Piece content like this, definitely hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. One Piece is one of the games we play here. So let's start with our 1-drops. Run 4 of the 1-drop Kami. Basically, this is just a top 4 searcher looking for a Fishman or Merfolk type character. It only looks up 4 because it doesn't have a limit on what the cost is of that character. So this will essentially let you grab all the pieces you need to see. You ideally want to start with this in your hand on your first turn because it just helps you snowball into your bigger characters and make sure that you're able to see the cards that you need. That's the only 1-drop I run. I don't run the Shirahoshis because, to be honest, it's another 4 cards that I would rather put to other cards. 4 spots that I'd rather put to other cards. We do run 2 copies of the Hammond blocker. He's a 2-cost 2k blocker. He's just there for defensive purposes because low to the ground blockers are actually okay in this meta right now. And he is Fishman, so he is searchable with Kami, worst case scenario. I won't lie, I also for a brief time was thinking about running the 1-drop beige blocker, but he's not searchable and he's not comboable. So you already run a lot of bricks in this deck, so I'd really rather not try to add more to that. So Hammond I think for now is okay, but I always could swap out those ratios. Another 2-cost card we run is 3 of the 2-cost 2k Vanderdecken. This card is absolutely insane. It allows us to trash 1 Fishman character or 1 Arc Noah, but we don't run that, on play, and then I get to KO one of my opponent's rest mode cards. This just literally KOs anything on board by discarding a card from hand. So you want to make sure you also have plenty of Fishman type characters. So yeah, this card is absolutely insane. I was running 4 of, but I did remove 1 just so I could put in another card. You'll see later in the video. But those are the 2-cost cards that I run. I run 2 of the 3-drop Arlong from EBO2. Funny enough, I only pulled alt art versions of this guy. I didn't even pull a non-alt art, which is crazy because I opened 1.5 boxes and I got 2. So crazy. But yeah, this card's actually insane. I'm thinking about maybe running him up at 3, but I think 2 right now so far is still doing the job. His ability is on play if your leader is a Fishman or East Blue type character. Give up to 1 rested Dawn to your leader. Then, up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less cannot be rested until the end of your opponent's next turn. Basically, you choose a card. That card cannot rest, meaning it cannot attack. It cannot block. So it's really, really good stuff. It's a really good ability. So we do run 2 of those. Now, for our 2Ks, we run 4 copies of Tashigi, 4 copies of Jinbe, the promo, and then 2 copies of Hachi. So basically, the idea here is this Tashigi is the only non-fishman 2K that we run that's not searchable, but Tashigi's ability is just really, really good, being able to protect your other green cards on board, and it's comboable with a card I'll be showing later in this video. The other ones are pretty much just there to be searchable 2Ks. This Jinbe is the promo card, which is a little too expensive. It's like $10 a card. I'm not trying to pay for that, so I do run proxies, which our locals does allow for proxies, as well as 2 Hachans. The trigger sadly does not work since our leader is not East Blue, but like I said, it is just searchable 2Ks. I haven't ever used this Jinbe's ability, which allows him to bottom deck a 1 cost on play, but you know, it's still there if you wanted to use it. Next are 4 cost cards here. We run 3 copies of Arlong from OP06. He is a 4 cost 6K body with no combo power. On play, you may trash 1 card from your hand. Up to one of your opponent's rested leaders cannot attack until the end of your opponent's next turn. So basically, depending on which opponent you are playing, if your opponent is running a 6K leader or a leader that can restand multiple times, this card stops it from being it cannot attack. So even if they can restand it, it cannot attack. So, well, actually, yeah, this doesn't. I guess it doesn't even keep it rested. So their leader cannot attack. It's super, super good. It's a great card to play on curve to slow down your opponent's attacks early on. And its trigger ability is rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less. So very, very good in my opinion. It's Fishman, so it's searchable. Very, very good stuff. So a card that is not Fishman, and we're going to get to our 5 costs here. We're running 2 of the OP11 Trafalgar Law and 3 copies of Fisher Tiger. So the reason why Law's here. Law is ridiculously good in this deck because of its bouncing ability. So on your turn, on 5 Dawn, you play it. You are able to bounce 1 of your characters back to your hand. Then you may play up to 1 character cost of 3 or less from your hand. So typically how I like to look at it is I'm able to then bounce a card like Cammy that I played earlier in the game back to my hand. So now I have a 1K counter to use for combo power, or play her again in order to search through the deck. You can play out cards like Hammond. You can play out cards like Vanderdecken. You can play out, this is the preferred card, Arlong. So you can bounce a Cammy, play the Arlong, so you're able to then power up your leader with Arrested Dawn and rest another card on your opponent's board. Or, funny enough, and I did this in my last locals, I played a Law to bounce Arlong back to my hand after swinging with it, to play Arlong again, because it doesn't say it has to be a different card, so you can play the same card, and it just freezes down another card on your opponent's board. It's super, super good. It's not searchable, but if you can play it, it's a lot of fun. It allows you to reuse some of your lower cost cards abilities. Next, the Fisher Tiger here. Card is great. It's a 5 cost 6K body. When this card can attack characters on the turn in which it is played, so it's very, very good for helping you clear your opponent's board. And on play, if your leader has the Fishman or Merfolk type character trait, rest it to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 6 or less. So very, very good stuff. Essentially, you can rest a 6 cost or less down and then swing into it with this guy. It's just being able to force your opponent to give up more resources to protect their cards on their board, because they obviously do want to be able to play those cards. It's searchable off your Cammy. It's such a good card. So running 3 Fisher Tigers, 2 Laws. Next, we're playing the main dude in this deck, Boss Jinbe, our 6 cost, 8K body, no combo power. But basically, his ability is on play if your leader has the Fishman or Merfolk type character. Rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less. So it hits pretty much anything that if you play this on curve, it's going to hit whatever your opponent played last turn. Then, once per turn, up to one of your Fishmen or Merfolk type characters can attack a character on the turn in which it is played. You can also give that to Jinbe himself. So, he's able to be played, rest something that's 5 costs or less, give himself the ability to attack into it. You're now swinging 8K into whatever 4 cost character they played last turn. It's more than likely not going to survive unless they want to get rid of it. And then unless they really want to dump a lot of cards out of their hand to save it. What's super cool though is that Jinbe, at the end of your turn, use your Jinbe ability to restand him. So he is protected That way you can swing into it, use it, you swing with it, use its ability to give something else you just played the ability to swing into characters. So you can do that with Arlong. You can do that with any of the other fishmen, or other fishmen characters, but primarily you're really not going to be doing that early game stuff. You're primarily doing that later game stuff, which we're going to get to. But this card, I think, really makes the deck run. And honestly, not seeing this in one of my games last week really hurt. Not being able to attack into my opponent's characters on the turn they're played when I was, when I was playing other characters, really hurt. But this card's insane. You need to run 4 of it. Next are 7 cost characters. We run 3 copies of Arlong from OP11, as well as 4 copies of Hody Jones. Arlong from OP11 as a 7 cost 7k body, but if your leader has the Fishman type trait, which we do, and I have 3, and you have 3 or less life, and your opponent has 5 or more rested cards. Keep in mind this does mean Dawn as well. So if they have 5 or more tap down Dawn, this works. You can play this card for 3 less. So for 4, you're playing a 7k body. Combine this with the Jinbe, you're able to then swing into your opponent's characters on the turn this card is played, because you give it pseudo rush. You swing in, you're able to start clearing board. It's very, very good, as well as its trigger ability, rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less. So more ability to slow down the game. Card's really good. Now, Hody Jones is pretty much our game ender. Hody Jones is a stupid card and probably is going to get banned at some point. It's got Rush. It's a 7k body, a 7 cost 8k body with Rush. On play, rest up to 2 of your opponent's characters or Dawn. So if they got blockers, you can rest those. If they have open Dawn, you can rest those, or a mixture of the 2. And then you add the top card of your deck to your life. So this is basically what you really want to do to close out your games. You play this for 7. You still have 3 open Dawn. If you have like the Jinbe or Arlong out, you could possibly go and swing 8. So like 8 with this, 8 with this, 8 with your leader. 3 8k swings near the end game is really, really gross, especially if your opponent doesn't have any Dawn or blockers up. It's just aggressive as hell. And then you play a second Arlong, not Arlong, sorry, second Hody Jones, and it's just gross. Like this card is so good. Next, we're running the big 10k or 10 cost of the deck is 2 copies of Don Quixote do Flamingo. Love this guy. He's just a card that will, depending on the situation, if we need to slow the game down a little bit, if we just need 1 extra turn, boom, you play that, freeze 3 of your opponent's cards, and then you might be able to last a whole extra turn. And then you have a 10k on the board, which then you could drop a Hody Jones next turn, and then you're swinging, 8, 8, 10. It's really gross. It's so good. But yeah, he's only come up once or so, but the idea is that he's really, really good. Next, we have our 1 cost extras, Gum Gum Elephant Gatling, and 3 copies of Vagabond Drill. But then we're also running 2 copies of Electrical Luna. This is a new addition to the deck. I mentioned I took out a copy of Vanderdecken. I put in an extra copy of Electrical Luna. Basically, these 2 cards here, the Elephant Gatling and the Vagabond Drill, are just going to be your 1 cost buff your leader by 3k. The Gum Gum Elephant Gatling can only buff your leader by 3k on defense, but it does have the ability of resting an additional Dawn to rest a character on your opponent's board with a cost of 5 or less. Really, really good. Vagabond Drill on counter allows you to rest a 3 cost character on your opponent's board, as well as get you the 3k boost, so that's really, really good. Plus, it has a trigger, rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less. So that's pretty solid as well. The Electrical Luna is a 3 cost event, which allows you to, on the main step, all of your opponent's rested characters with a cost of 7 or less will not become active in your opponent's next refresh phase. So this allows you to stop your opponent from going extremely wide. And its trigger ability is rest up to one of your opponent's characters. So it can hit anything on trigger. So that is stupid good in my opinion. But yeah, that is basically the deck profile for Jinbe. I'm really liking this leader. Like I said, it's just been a lot of fun to play. The deck is all about controlling your opponent's board, attacking into your opponent's board, making them give up resources so you can start going into their life because they're going to have less resources to work with. It's such a fun leader. It's a fun deck. I went 2-2 last weekend with it, but I also was up against a lot more aggressive matchups than I normally am used to. So this deck does kind of fold to aggro, but if you can control their board and you see the pieces you need in order to swing into their board, I think you got it. So that's the deck profile. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure to like the video if you did, and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And I will catch you all on the next video. Take care, guys. Peace out.
Here's how the story goes. We find out by the treasure in the grand line. There's no doubt. The pirate whose eye is on it, he'll sing. I'll be king of the pirates. I'm gonna be king.
His name is Luffy.
That's Monkey D. Luffy.
King of the pirates.